Maybe going live will help. It says we're live. Hey, everybody.
Hi,
We see
guys.
you. Can you see us?
Woo.
I'm seeing Jody and Jamie and Tiger. Oh, my.
I think I'm up.
And Stephanie. Hello. Oh, and Pamela. And Kitschy Cat. Meow. You
Hi,
guys, before we get too into it, can you guys just see the giant Knickerbocker pouty bear that is sitting on Sarah's lap right now? She said, "Oh, you want to talk about Kitsch? Let me pull out my life-size pouty bear."
I love it. Oh my God, he's so great.
He weighs like 10 pounds. He's a biggin.
Oh, that is just insane.
Type said, how could we not see that thing?
I agree. I don't know how you couldn't not.
Him.
Oh, and the husband is here.
Hi, hon.
Hi, David.
He loves these. Ask him how much he loves them.
But he's got to love them more than the dolls, right?
For sure. For sure.
Mm-hmm. All right. So if you haven't figured it out, some of us are having a little technical difficulty right now, and that's okay because that is the joy.
We got you, girl. We're here for you.
You know, we've all experienced it, and it's never a good thing. Hello, Michelle. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, darling. She's up. She's up from the Maybe Kayla
go all the way. Kayla, if you can hear us, you may have to go all the way out and then come all the way back in.
Like delete everything out and then just re-click on the link to try to refresh it.
Same link.
Yep. Maybe she can't hear us.
He's not creepy.
I love him.
Who said he's creepy? Lori.
He said it's a scary, sad bear.
That's right. He just needs a hug.
He's feeling super lonely. Look at his blue eyeshadow. It cracks me up.
I love him.
I absolutely adore that.
I got him probably 4 or 5 years ago on eBay. I had been looking for the big one for a really long time and finally found him. So
I love him.
Everybody's taking naps today, huh?
I've never been a napper.
Me neither.
I always wished I could, but I'm a type of person, like, if I took a nap, I'll wake up and I'll like think that it's 5 years later. You know what I mean? I'm like, what where am I? You know?
I always wake up groggy when I take a nap. So that's why I drink coffee till 5 p.m.
I can't. I always feel like ill after I take a nap for some reason. Like I don't feel good. Yeah. Like I want to take a nap and I take a nap and every time I'm like, I feel like crap now. I don't know why that is.
Some people can take a good power nap and they're great. I wish I was like that. I just can't.
Yeah.
I can barely sleep at night, let alone sleep during the day.
True. What should we do? I don't feel like Kayla can hear us. And that's oh wait, she's back. Oh wait. Add to the stream. Here she comes. Everybody.
Cross them all.
Come on. Come on, technology.
We can do the technology. Woo woo.
Well,
Misty, what are you eating? Those look good.
Well, I'm eating Twizzlers. No, sweet tart ropes. Rachel, they're yummy.
Yummy.
I will have to say, Kayla. Well,
man, I feel horrible.
Maybe let me message her on Instagram real quick.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I'm going to tell her.
Can you take her all the way out? Oh, wait.
Oh.
Kayla!
That is a good freeze screen, though, girl. You're still frozen, but it's a good look on you. I'm not mad at it. Well, I guess what we'll do is,
I'm texting.
so Sarah is going to message Kayla, and what? Do you have an idea?
No, she was like, oh, she's moving.
It's starting to, Kayla, you're coming back to us, girl. Slowly but surely.
I can kind of hear you guys
We're starting to hear you.
again. And it's for some reason static in my side.
I think she said it's staticky on her side.
On her side.
Are you on a shared internet? So are there other devices that are utilizing the internet right now? Because that might be slowing down your connection. Or I think you said you were going to use your phone.
Kayla,
You might have to go on your laptop, Kayla, if you can, or a webcam. Sometimes that helps.
yes.
Oh, Pat, you just wait.
Honey.
Girl.
Pure fabulousness is on her shelves.
Girl.
Yeah, and I will say this, while we're resolving the technical issues, that is Kayla Sunshine 32 on Instagram. Everybody has a direct link, whether it's to their Instagram, their YouTube. So everything in it will be posted in the, everything will be posted once the video goes live. Oh, that sun came back out for you, Sarah.
We took it down, put it back up.
But if you guys are not following Kayla on Instagram, you are missing out on one of the most impressive vintage rubber squeak collections that anybody has. It is displayed, as you all saw, amazingly. Like, it's so organized. There's a place for everything, and everything is in its place. It is sick.
Yeah,
It is sick.
It is completely amazing. And her toy collection is, well, she's been featured in magazines. Like, she's got a fantastic toy collection of epic proportions. She's goals.
Yeah. You guys definitely want to check her out on Instagram. Like, you're not going to regret it.
Bear with me, lighting scenario issues. And
Well,
Colorado,
that light was really flattering, though. I like it.
completely in my face.
Oh.
Kayla's Instagram name is Kayla Sunshine 32. So if she typed in her Instagram handle in her banner there. So if you type that into Instagram, you're going to be taken right to her page. If you're having a hard time finding it, again, there will be a direct link right to her Instagram. Yeah, see, there you go. Jamie.
If you can just turn that light up now.
It's amazing. It's amazing.
And
Kayla,
she's in Oregon.
Yes, in Oregon.
I am light blind. Give me just a second. Hey, if we can't laugh at ourselves trying to get this to work, I don't
exactly
know, right?
I agree.
Well, we'll go ahead and let's go around and introduce ourselves. Misty, do you want to start it off?
Let me
Sarah,
swallow my candy first.
Okay.
Yes. Hello. I'm Misty, Dr. Junker Vintage Hunter, and you can find me on Instagram as Dr. Junker Vintage Hunter, YouTube as the same, and on my eBay store is Wildflower812. I have live sales every week on YouTube.
Woo, woo.
Whoop, 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 whoop. And they're really fun.
They are.
My son just got home. Hello, son.
Hello, son.
He's turning into an old man now.
I know, he's 19, turned 19 yesterday. He's an old man.
Oh, he's just a biscuit.
He is.
Okay.
Oh, hello, Judy. Yes. Go for it, Sarah.
Okay, I am the Traveling Button, and I am a vintage Instagram seller. I'm also the vintage shop coach. I coach shops that want to start selling vintage on Instagram. And I'm also an avid vintage kitsch collector. So that's what we're going to be chatting about, which I'm excited.
Heck yeah. Sorry, I'm just making sure. Okay. So I'm Michael Todd, and this is The.Cult.Of.Vintage, and I sell stuff on YouTube Live, and I also make videos, shop-alongs with me, mostly. So that's me.
Nice.
My heart is aching for Kayla right now because I know that
I
she's
know.
stressing out.
This is going to be Kayla's first introduction, not only to StreamYard, but to YouTube. So, you know, it is what it is. And sometimes technology is just an evil, hateful thing. We've all experienced it. And again, Kayla is Kayla Sunshine 32 on Instagram. She focuses mainly on, again, rubber squeakers, vintage toys, 40s, 50s. And she does do Instagram live sales every other Saturday. So please, you guys, like I said, make sure that you check her out. You are not going to regret it. What I was thinking about, you know, this week's Vintage Rescue Squad, I kind of, truth be told, I was thinking about taking it in a different direction. Oh, she went outside. She's looking for a better signal. It's still evading you. Oh, Misty said deuces.
Michael, remember last time? I'm just laughing because you guys know me. I'm pretty easygoing. Like, we just roll with whatever. Last time we had Vintage Rescue Squad, it was Yvonne and myself and Michael and Misty, and we had the same. It happens, guys. This is just part of it. Thank you for being patient with us.
100% happens. Misty's back. Hello, back. Welcome.
Here you are.
I left because everyone was completely frozen, so that's why I left.
Did you? Oh, so StreamYard might be having another issue.
It's Monday night StreamYard time.
I'm telling you what,
Okay,
the StreamYard is needs to figure. Oh, we can hear you, Kayla.
I hear you, girl. Where are you? Hi, Donna. Hi, guys. Hi, Tina.
Yeah,
tried
the one
changing
StreamYard
time.
needs to get it together.
Settings.
Yeah. Oh, you're like, you're really super
Came
breaking.
outside and I
We're all, oh,
put my
sweet.
earplugs in.
She's melting.
Welcome to Colorado, land of sunshine. Oh my God.
If you're on your phone, Kayla, make sure that you're opening it in Chrome. Sometimes that helps too, instead of if you're opening it on Chrome, or sometimes you just have to go on your crummy laptop camera.
I'm just gonna stay like this. That's my sweet husband. He's tried so hard to get this window. There's a window in front of me.
Just stand there with like sheets and pillowcases. Just
yeah, that's me. That's my house. Yeah, looks like sheets.
Exactly, Pat.
Me here.
I agree, Pat. Can't live with it. Can't live without it. That's absolutely true.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, to say words, y'all.
I do thank you. Misty pointed that out earlier. We are aware, and I am aware of what it looks like. Okay.
What's hanging, Michael? What is going on there?
I told
Hey,
her
I'm
what I
sitting
thought it
down.
looked like. Just dangling. Just dangling.
Oh, great. Guess what? I just completely froze you guys.
I see you both.
Mhm.
I know. Okay, I will be right back now.
You were good.
Okay.
Hey, Misty girl, should we sing a song? Should we do
Oh
it?
gosh, no! Nobody wants that. Nobody wants to hear me sing a song. Wait,
No.
Michael, did you leave, Michael?
I'm back. I'm back.
You didn't never leave.
I don't
Okay,
think you left.
I figured out a cheat. I have to hit the button, my one home button, and it'll pop it away. And then if I come back in, it like unfreezes it.
Dagny just said, let's just say it's a cat's tail.
It is just a cat's tail. Thank you all very much. Yes. So what I was going to say is that this week I was really going to, I wanted it to, it was going to go in a different direction, and it didn't work out the way that I thought it was going to work out. So then I was like, I want to do something really fun, bring people on again that we typically don't. And I was like, because this is okay, so we're on my channel. So because there was a really good, well, I never want to, no. I don't want to ever, you know what I mean? You always got to mind your P's and Q's when you're in somebody else's house.
That's
you know
true. That's totally true. Yeah. And I appreciate it.
Am I being good? Am I
Do
getting
what?
kicked out? Am I being good? Am I about to get kicked out? What's happening?
No.
See, this is what's confusing me. Okay, because whenever Kayla has requested. Okay, wait, I'm gonna give it a second. Okay.
Okay.
All right, so now I can
Here it
see
goes.
Kayla in
Oh,
the
honey.
invite. All right, here we go. Girl, you do have good frozen screens. I'm telling you.
It's a sunny day. It's a sunny day, fam. It's a sunny day. Whew. And yeah, 6:18 p.m. in the mountains, and we still have like sun.
That's great, though.
Yeah. But
I can't hear work, but let me know if you can hear me.
we can.
Kayla.
Kayla, girl, I see you.
Kind of, sort of.
Okay, David, just leave it. That's fine. Are we all friends?
No. But this week it was going, like I said, it was going to be something else. And at one point, somebody had brought up to Misty and I a really good idea, and it was more of a, well, why don't you talk more about it from a buyer's perspective?
Yeah.
And I think that is an incredibly valid thing, and those are certainly topics that we will discuss as we go more and more into what does more mean. Private. How do I go into what's private chat? I don't know. I'm not messing with it. I don't know. So it really got my wheels turning, and I was like, well, what about if we talk about it from like a collector standpoint? And because I think, we're all resellers. Okay, yes. I just heard you that time, Kayla. But now we're not hearing you.
It's
Man, it stinks. Kayla girl, like I said, it happens to everybody.
It does.
It does. But it happened to all of us last week.
Yeah.
So
it did.
It really got my wheels turning, and I thought, well, why don't we talk about it from a collector standpoint? Because not only do we sell, but we also, of course, collect.
Yeah.
And obviously, everybody in the chat, everybody watching, we all collect. Not all of us resale. So why don't we really talk about the things that really have united us, and that are the things that we collect? And I thought, well, what better thing to talk about so far as collecting than the kitsch? Everybody loves the kitsch, right? And I think that it comes in so many different forms, so many different fashions, whether it is like Kayla, it is those vintage toys. Yeah, there's such a kitschy factor to them, like their faces, the way they're molded, those expressive, big, stylized eyes, to anthropomorphic fruits and vegetables that Misty Pate over here just absolutely loves. Sarah, tell them how many pouchy bears you have, darling.
Somewhere between probably 20 and 24, I would say, somewhere in there. And I used to have more, actually. I collected rubber face, Russians and Gund creations, Knickerbockers, and I started collecting those about 6 years ago, before the big boom hit of them being insanely expensive like they are now.
Yeah.
And and then I pared my collection down. I sold off quite a few, but I do still have some foxes and some bunnies, and I like to hold on to the more rare ones. And my sad bear collection, though, is my favorite because I only collect the sad ones.
Yeah. See, I know that Russian really is like a name that everyone kind of knows, and it's like a familiar name to everyone. Like they know that if something is Russian, then they know that it's going to be valued. I myself prefer the Knickerbocker ones over the Russian ones. Myself, I like their expressions a lot more.
I didn't know this about you.
Yeah, I mean, I like them all, but there's just something about the Nick, and plus Knickerbocker is a fun word to say,
Yes, it
It
is.
you know.
Yes, it is.
So I'm all about the fun part of it. But yeah, yeah, there's just something about them. There's something that's like, well, it's anthropomorphic, so it's very human. It evokes emotion, and I think that that's why, Sarah. I think that you're like me. You're kind of an emotional person, and so you look at that, and immediately you just want to pick it up and hug it, right?
I'm an empath,
Yes,
so
me too.
I absorb everybody's energy around me, good or bad. And I love these guys because, you can find a smiling baby doll or a smiling plush all along, but these little sad boogers just melt my heart. I'm nuts for them. So these are truly the ones that I collect. And every once in a while, I will find a new one. And my favorite ones are the little bitty ones that are like this small. I have two. I have an orange one and a brown one. And they are, and of course, my big boy that I showed you guys. So
I did not realize that.
No, the ears. Oh, the ears.
Big-eared buddy. He's enormous. Takes up the whole frame. His head is like
Kayla girl, I see
bigger
you.
than mine.
Oh.
Yeah. Is it working?
Yes.
Yes, girl.
Good.
I see you, and it's working.
I got it up on the iPad, so it sounds better and it's working now.
Yeah, see,
so
sometimes you gotta. I don't know what it is. It's
I'm
just.
so sorry. I know. I'm sorry for delaying it. I'm just happy. I've tried everything to get on, so I'm glad I am.
Oh, it's not your fault.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm just sorry. I'm in our living room now, so I can try to make it back up to my room, but I'll just stay here for now.
No, do your thing. Do your thing, girl. Do your thing. We're good with it. So we were just going around and introducing ourselves. Kayla, do you want to introduce yourself to everybody? Let them know a little bit about yourself.
Sure. I am Kayla, also known as Kayla Sunshine 32 on Instagram here, or on YouTube. I'm new to YouTube, I guess. But my family and I, we actually have a vintage business called 3 Daisies Vintage in Oregon. We've all kind of been buying and selling and collecting for probably the last 6 or 7 years, I'd say. I'm from Arizona, and my family has lived there the last 20 years. And we just actually moved to Oregon about 2 years ago now. And we opened up a vintage shop, like I mentioned, 3 Daisies Vintage, last June. So right kind of around COVID times. But it's been going very well. We've met so many people from Instagram and all over Oregon and stuff, and doing vintage things here. So it's kind of nice just to, I don't know, it's fun. And I've been doing live sales on my personal account too. But yeah, so that's a little bit about me.
Isn't it great? Isn't it great that how you can find people in this community that you just feel a soul connection to? Totally. Isn't that wonderful about that? That's, people are like, oh, social media is this and social media is that. But there's a lot of bad to it, but gosh, it just brings people that you would never be able to meet on a normal basis together, and you can share your passions and you can share common interests with and make lifelong friends or family. And it's amazing.
I'm surprised what a small world it is too, because you'll like meet somebody, then they'll like know somebody you didn't think they would know, and like that kind of thing. So it's kind of weird and how it all connects too sometimes.
Yeah, I love it. I think that's amazing. A lot of people are asking, where at in Oregon are you? You don't have to say exactly where you're at, or like a region of where you're at.
Totally fine. We're in Aurora, Oregon. So it's about 25-ish minutes from Portland. What is it, north or south?
We're south of Portland.
South of Portland. I was asking my mom.
And you ladies do have a physical storefront. Is that correct?
Yep, 3 days vintage, and it's actually really nice because we're actually in a historic like antique district. So there's about 20-ish vintage shops there. So it's a really cool spot.
See,
That's so cool.
That's amazing because with having a brick and mortar location is and if you have those other shops in your area, gosh, they can just like, well, we're gonna go to Aurora, and then they're just gonna go to all of them, you know.
It's like there's a mid-century shop, there's a primitive shop, there's like a jewelry shop. I mean, and then ours is kind of a mixture of like the kitschy stuff and then like the rusty advertising. So that town has it all really. It's kind of
I want to go.
Right?
I know, right?
Oregon, Pamela says. Somebody pick me up Oregon.
Road trip.
That's where
My
Marion
thing that
is
Mike
right
did
now.
say is that if you do have a question in the chat, we run the show by your questions and by your asking us things and your ideas. So if you have something that you want to ask one of us, make sure that it's easier for us to see if it's in all caps. You can yell it. You can yell us your question. We're fine with you yelling it to us. That way we can hear you. So yeah, if you have anything that you want to ask anybody, like Kitschy Cat's. By the way, do you see Kitschy Cat's little emoji there?
Yeah.
That was designed by my daughter.
It's way cute.
Really?
Yeah, Emma designed that for her.
Nicely done, Emma. Way cute.
So cute.
Can I let you all in on a little secret that I've been planning? My goal is that when I get to 10,000 subscribers, I'm going to change the logo to The.Cult.Of.Vintage. It's still going to have the triangle, and it's still going to say Rusty, Crusty, and Dusty around it.
Okay.
But there's going to be something different in the middle.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah. I'm excited.
Is it going to be?
I have to reach out to
It's
Emily.
gonna be
He's like, if I get 10,000 subscribers.
I know. I'm like,
when you get 10,000.
I don't know, Dagny. I feel weird about wanting to release merch.
Everybody is.
Your merch.
I know.
Where's some merch? Misty, where's your merch? I'll buy some merch.
Yes,
on my Teespring.
Actually,
Emma is having. Emma. If you're watching, you need to send it to me, girl. She has designed new Vintage Rescue Squad, a new design for Vintage Rescue Squad, and it's so fun and it's so cool. Emma, if you're watching, which I don't know if she is or not, but you need to send it to me so I can get that going. But it will be available on Teespring. All of my merch is available on my Teespring. But merch is fun. I think that it's important for your merch to kind of convey who you are and your brand, but I think that it's also fun to just throw something fun out there that doesn't necessarily say, Thrift or Junk or Vintage Hunter, but just something that's kind of like just for the community to enjoy in general.
Well, can we? I know I'm about to really switch gears majorly right now, but it's something that I wanted to actually really talk about, and I'm kind of interested to get your guys' opinions on this and everybody in the chat. I am watching the chat. So again, if you have questions like Misty said, please just make sure you put it in caps. But like the cost of let's talk about rubber face.
Sorry, I just saw something that made me laugh.
Oh, okay.
Lori DeMoss's comment.
What? Lori, are you being
Don't
sad?
highlight it, Michael. Just read it.
Lordy. What do you think is driving? I have a theory, and I was actually talking about this with Stephanie, and it's not like we were having a conversation about it, but she kind of clued me in a little bit, and I was like, oh, but really? But like, what do you think is really driving? Because there's been such a huge explosion in the cost of rubber face plush. Like, I have seen them go for thousands of dollars. What do you think is driving that?
Well, I know at one point, a few years back, Melanie Martinez hit the scene. Kayla, you know what I'm talking about. And everybody all of her fans who were a lot younger, we're talking like kids from like 8th grade to 12th grade suddenly are buying rubber faces on eBay and want them because Melanie was a collector. So her fans then wanted to be like her and have rubber faces. So I know that was one driving factor that really upped the cost. And didn't she make a video or something with some rubber faces, or like they're in her stage?
I think
What?
so.
Yeah.
I don't know who she is. So
Well, and I didn't either. I actually had a customer explain it to me who's younger than me. So yeah, I didn't know either. So don't feel like you're not in the know with the Melanie Martinez thing, because I wasn't either till someone and I were talking about it, and her fans, were just buying up the rubber faces right and left. And I think that was part of it. And I also think Kitsch is cool now. So whereas before people thought we were weird because we collected this stuff, now it's kind of trendy.
I honestly think Instagram too. It just not even just me, but just seeing everybody else. Just like, I mean,
yes.
the reason why a lot of us have followers is because they see we collect the same stuff as each other.
Yeah.
So it's kind of nice just to like keep going. Like, oh, I saw that in so and so, now I want one. So I think that would also trickle into that.
I think you're right though too. With just like, for example, Kayla seeing your shelves and seeing people's displays, and they see something that just it evokes a feeling in them. And I think that people who like vintage things in general tend to sometimes spend and buy things on their emotions and how they feel about seeing a specific something, the face on something. And you see something in a display, and that does oh, I love that. I want that too. And when you get a bunch of those rubber face items, those rubber face dolls together, I mean, it's just happy, and especially with everything that we've gone through, this past year, I think that we're all looking for that, just that happy, that fulfillment of being happy and joy.
Well, and I know for me, just personally as a collector and a buyer, and the things that I fill my home with are what bring me daily joy. That, it's stuff that I hang on the walls and keep and collect that I enjoy looking at, that take me back, that are very nostalgic to me. But also most of it has that kitsch factor. I collect some glass and mid-century things here and there, but most of my everything is the kitsch that I loved as a kid, that I saw grandma have, or grandma's friend that she played bridge with. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's very much an emotional. I think the love of vintage and antiques and collectibles is just a very emotional thing anyway. Because if you think about it with these toys, that's why I love the bears that just have smashed in faces and that are ratty and tatty and just they were once loved, and that emotion that's been transferred into that toy from this child is just, it's a special thing. And I think that giving them new life again in a display, or just loving on them again, is just it's an emotional thing.
I agree.
Yeah, and I think that is exactly it, because like when Sarah held up that sad-faced bear, you were immediately like, oh, and it evoked like almost a, for me, what is it, a paternal instinct, or for the late, like a maternal, like it evokes something that it makes you want to guard it and take care of it and love it and protect it.
Rub your fingers through his little hair and just oh, it's okay, I just love it.
Well, what cracks me up too is he's a bear, but look at his bear hair. They gave him that
human. They gave him human hair.
Right. The anthropomorphic features, whether it's the fruit, which I collect too. I collect all the PI ceramic fruit and all of that. Misty, I didn't know you were an anthropomorphic collector. I am too. Girl, we can compare. Misty and I are weird long lost sisters too.
Sarah and I have had this. There is something weird in this universe, because Sarah and I are like, we would never we probably would kill each other. I mean, we would have fun, but we would be tackling each other for the same thing if we were going shopping together.
I'm pretty chill, Misty. I'd let you have it, girl.
Well, I just bought something that reminds me of you, Sarah, because I saw your summer display of your fruits and everything.
Fruit. Yeah.
Yes, and I found one yesterday. You probably already have it, but it's the big plastic apple bank with the big lashes.
Girl.
She's gonna go get it. I found one yesterday, and I was like, the first thing that pops into my brain was Sarah. It's like, and that's the thing too that I love about these things. That's PY. That's awesome. I love that.
It's so fun to talk to people in your tribe that get it. Kayla, I have to sit down, by the way.
Do you have the apple? That's the one I bought. I bought the apple.
Those are cute.
And do you know the best part about these, Misty?
You can turn them upside down. I know. I love that.
Him's Grumpy Apple.
God. So sad.
I have my pair, the sad one, and then I have Happy Apple. She's Olivia, I think is her name. Like that was actually
names.
Yeah. So these were given, the funny thing about these history-wise, these were given out as gifts when a kid would go to the bank with mom and dad and open a savings account. They would give these little banks. And they were like, bring your kid, open an account, get a free weirdo fruit face bank.
I love it. I wish they'd bring that back. Bring it back.
Mm-hmm.
They wouldn't give out stuff this cool though.
No, they wouldn't.
But
now
yeah,
it's just a lollipop now.
People that collect the same stuff as you and like get it and get excited about the same nerdy stuff that you do. You know, you either get it or you don't.
Well,
Yeah.
I kind of, I'm a little nosy, and Kayla, I don't want to put you on the spot, but like, do you mind me asking like how old you are?
No, not at all. I like to ask, how old do you think I am? That's first.
Good. I like that.
Younger than me. How about that?
Me
Okay. Actually 22.
Well, then, you know what? Here's my question for you. What is it that, because, at your age, truth be told, at 22 years old, what is it that really spoke to you to like those 40s and 50-year-old toys? You know what, like, is it because of your upbringing and the family and it's just a tradition, or did it just speak to you?
I was gonna say my mom's uncles, they were in the antique business when she was younger. But growing up, myself, my mom, all of us, we were into vintage stuff. And like I said, it wasn't till probably like 6 or 7 years ago is when we really got into it. And ever since I was a kid, I would always collect things. I've always loved toys, like new toys and all that. And if they came out like of a collection of 5, like I would make a mission to get each one. So it's that part's always kind of been in me. But vintage, yeah, it just all of a sudden I just stumbled upon it. My mom actually got the first squeak toy, and she kind of started getting a couple, and I'm like, oh, I kind of like these. Am I in it? Okay. I kind of like these, and I just started collecting more and more, and I find out how many different ones there are and how many like different styles and brands and all that kind of stuff. And yeah, no, they just honestly make me really happy. So like you guys were talking about, it's something I like to wake up to and see all of them and all that kind of thing. I know I get all the time, they're like, how do you sleep with all those creepy faces staring at you? I'm like, I don't know. I don't think they're creepy, but yeah, no, I just like all of them. I don't know.
I think a lot of people that are into vintage antiques have a very similar story. There's somebody in their past, somebody that's influenced them, whether that be an aunt or uncle or mom or dad or, grandma, grandpa, that really kind of, instilled that mindset in them.
Yeah.
And I think that's, I don't know, it's just a cool thing. It's cool to hear about who inspired you to do what you do.
Well, what just makes it even better for me, and it always has, is just my family does it together, and it's just something that we bond over and just enjoy doing. Like if we're off one, I'm like, what do you guys want to do? Of course, we want to go antique vintage shopping, So I mean, we all kind of want to do the same thing and everything. So it's just fun doing it all together too.
That's so cool.
See, I always said that I would never do this. Like I will, everything in my house was going to be modern. I'm never going to go to an auction because, growing up in auctions, when you were a child, I hated going to them. I went to them every weekend. But I never, ever, ever in a million years thought that this is what I would be doing with my life. But it's just so, I'm blessed. It's a blessing how things work out.
What Stephanie just said, her parents dragged her antiquing as a kid, and at the time she absolutely hated it, and she says, now look at me. That Steph, same exact story, girl. I grew up Misty same way, auctions and antiquing and
Yard sales,
being drugged to different small town to find this Victorian blah 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 whatever. And yeah, my parents had like that bougie 1980s vintage taste. So
nothing new in the house.
Into, but I have my own thing now. So
yeah, everything was secondhand. Nothing was new. Everything was bought from an auction or a yard sale or an antique store. And
totally.
I get asked a lot, do you ever feel weird about things that you brought into your house? Like, do you ever get spooked out, or like, do you feel like something, is haunted? And I'm going to knock on wood because you just never know. But I was raised in an antique store, and I have never experienced anything with a specific item. Places, yes. Objects, no.
Well, it's just, but see, that's the interesting thing, though, for me, is because it's like, well, I guess it's kind of like the same thing, but I grew up in a house where everything was very new, and it was a very minimalist kind of household. So that was, my parents, but then like my grandparents, it was the exact opposite. It was, and I've shared that story, but every weekend it was going out to the flea markets and going out to the antique stores, and that was just part of the routine. And I only have such good memories with my grandparents. They held such a significant place in my growing up, and it was always just, it was a safe and secure, and it just, I don't know. And that's what it is. Is it stuff? Sure. But it's all of the emotions that are brought up. And it's kind of like, I remember when Graham had this or when Pap had this. And it's that feeling. It's the reminder of those times and those experiences in life. So it's all very nostalgic, and it doesn't have to be kitsch. Again, Fenton and Milk Glass are very triggering for me in that, because she very much did like to collect Fenton and Milk Glass. So those things, and snow babies, like the Department 56 snow babies, when they first were coming out in the 80s, those things, again, when I don't get them for resale, but whenever I see them, she pops right into my head every single time.
That's special. I love that.
Mm-hmm. And I do want to just say, though, too, and the reason, Kayla, I asked your age is because I made an assumption that you were younger. But I think that it's really important, because I think, for Misty and Sarah and myself, and for a lot of people in the chat, it's kind of like, well, is anybody younger, our kids' age, or if I had one, are they interested? What's going to happen to this stuff? Where's the future for this stuff? And it's just so heartwarming to see somebody take it so seriously and have such a passion for it, because it's like, okay, these things there's still hope for these things. They're not just going to end up in a landfill somewhere.
Well, and I remember when Kayla started collecting with her mom, and you and your mom were customers of mine when I first started selling. And I remember you guys bought several squeaks and toys and things like that. And I remember watching you guys build this epic, insanely fantastic collection of squeak toys and vintage toys, and you guys were actually an inspiration to me, so I think it's neat someone so much younger is into all of this. I love it. I love hearing that. It's awesome.
Yeah, no, it's fun. It's like it brings it back to like I think what's helped my collection grow is my family, and also just seeing everybody and like seeing what they have to do and like sell and stuff like that. And it's like you mentioned, we bought stuff from you. It's taken a long time. I think some people think I just grow them on in the tree in the backyard. But no, it's taken several years and several long lines at estate sales and garage sales and antique stores.
Yeah.
Line. I mean, it's a long time coming, I guess, with all of it.
Yeah,
So yeah.
it's a lot of hard work, a lot of time and energy and money that goes into, building these collections and displaying them, and then, building the things that you need or buying the things that you need to display them, like your wonderful shelving units and stuff that you have. I mean, all of that goes, takes a lot of time and money and energy and skill, really. It takes, I think that it's almost like an art installment. Like
Yeah.
what you have, what you've built it with your shelves behind you is like an art installment. It's you expressing yourself through your art and your creativity in your display. And I think that that's what's fun for people that are, like, I can't paint anything to save my life, but I can create a display. And that to me is like an art.
It's an
My art.
expression.
It's an
Absolutely.
expression.
Definitely.
It's an expression. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I tried to like explain almost, yeah, it's like a way of explaining yourself, kind of almost.
Absolutely.
Said like I can't draw or anything like that, but I'm very into like I'm going to school for like film and television production, so I'm very into like certain things to like on the side besides vintage as well. But my sister, she's an artist as well, and she can draw, unlike me. But I was trying to bring up, she actually did our logo here. I don't know if you can see it. Can you see it?
Yeah.
Kind of.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, there you go. Yes, 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 yes.
But it kind of is like the anthropomorphic faces and stuff like that too. But yeah,
I love
she
it.
did all three of us, and then
Very cute.
good because we all kind of like work together to do our own things, and we're all not just myself with my room and stuff, but I'm sure you guys have seen my mom and sister's accounts too. But they're very well off organizing too. I actually think they're way better than I am too. So, I mean, especially at our store, they just always have the eye for things. And I can't take all the credit myself for my room, but they've definitely helped me out along the way. And my dad, the trooper, hanging all the shelves and everything like that. So yeah, it took the whole family to do it. So.
Now, did you buy your shelves, or did your dad build them?
No, actually, so the shelves for the rows of squeaks, the people ones, those are actually just from IKEA, like plate holder.
Oh, nice.
They're
Okay.
like, I'm trying to gauge. They're like probably this tall or this long each. And I just have several of them upstairs. Just lining. So he had to hang all those, obviously, and it's hard in the straight line to go gauge how
Well,
many.
your dad's a trooper, because my husband, I think it kills him a little bit inside every nail he hangs in a wall. He's like one of those guys that are like, oh, you're going to put nails in the wall, because eventually I'll want the walls repainted. And then when you repaint the wall, you got to fill it, all the holes in the wall.
Just a little bloop putty and you're good to go.
Right.
Now listen, I'm just going to say it. Zeno, I saw what you said. See, this is, okay, can we talk about, this is why I don't do it, because I always am hesitant to show this thing, but I do love him, and I never want him in the because, the cult of vintage, and then here's the devil on my shoulder, like, I don't want people freaking out, but I consider that like a form of kitsch. Do you know what I mean? Like,
Totally.
Oh, yeah.
I think it's like a scary kind of weird thing. Like, it's to me another version of kitsch.
Oh, absolutely.
Right there.
Yeah.
Cool.
You all know that I love me some Liz Retros, right? And she makes Krampuses at Christmas time to hang on your Christmas tree. And that's very kitschy and,
It's folklore and myth.
It's folklore. Yeah.
It's fun. It doesn't have to be, I always say it is what you make it. You know what I mean? And yeah, harmless.
Yeah.
I'm gonna hang that cat higher. That's all there is to it.
I keep thinking there's like something gonna get you, Michael. I don't know what's.
It's Felix, y'all. It's Felix.
I knew exactly what. Oh, he's so cute. I knew what clock it was when I saw the tail. I was like, for sure, he's got a kitty clock. That's great. Kitschy and fabulous.
He is. He's very kitschy. See, I'm really weird because this is actually an etching. They're cherubs. This behind me
Angel.
is bosom. Yeah.
He's got the
So I
dove
literally
and the
have,
angel.
there's the well, I got that scorpion. It's from David, Sarah's husband. There's a ceramic drama mask up here, again from David, another bosom. So I really like
You
very
got that one.
random.
Really cool. Yeah.
Yeah. But David definitely picks stuff up that's very much kind of like my vibe. Like
David
I like
was
that a little
really
creepy, but
good.
then I like to throw in, cherubs. You know what I mean? I don't know.
You know what? Sometimes it works, and my house is an eclectic mix of multiple styles, multiple
Mhm.
eras, a lot of kitsch. I would say 90% kitsch, and then like 10% like mid-century fun. So yeah,
Yeah.
well, do what makes you happy.
I think that it would be a good. I'm just like looking at like these are all like various frozen Charlottes and just various different things. I think that it would be. I think it would be kind of fun. I think we need to do like a YouTube collaboration of like a shelfie
Okay.
video where we show like our favorite shelves. Not like a home tour because I don't like doing home tours because you got to clean your house. And I'm never here, a lot. I'm gone, and then my house is left in the hands of the men that I live with. But
I
I
think that
think
would
that would
be
be a neat thing to see. Like, show us your shelves, like your own little collections of things that we all like. I will sell everything. Like, if someone's like, "Oh, Misty, I want that," okay, I'll sell it to you. But like some of the things that we just kind of keep for ourselves for a little while.
Yeah.
I think that would be a fun thing to do.
I'm down. I love it. I like to do that on my Instagram page, and I know Kayla does it too.
I do.
Just take
I
pictures.
do too. It's easy just to snap a picture and put it on Instagram. When you're doing YouTube, you're like, well, I kind of have to do it in a video. And then you're like, oh, I better dust that real quick. And then you're like, well, if I'm dusting this, I need to go dust this over here. And then it's like a whole big thing.
I just got one of those, you know how they do like it'll be like a picture frame and then they put the shelves in it. I just got one of those at the thrift store and I did it with my favorite pixies. I would love to do, oh, and I've got Amy's dolls on top that I just got. So
Yes.
I'm living for this.
I just got my Amy box today and I haven't opened it yet. I'm gonna go grab it so I can
Oh
open
my
it.
gosh, yes. Speaking of kitsch, so good. Yeah, I have all of my Amy dolls here and there displayed, and then my Christmas ones. And figurines seem to have a special place in my heart. I don't know about y'all, but
oh, absolutely.
little fun figurines. Sometimes the ones that are unbranded from the dime store that were not anything special, those are some of my favorites. Look, oh, he has a heart to show everybody.
This is RK. And he needs to see his friend.
He wants to see his friend. Let me see if I can find him. I don't know where that little stinker went.
You don't know where belligerent, oh.
She knows where I am. She's just kidding. Hi, guys. What are you doing? I'm Belligerent Cubby. If you don't know me, here I am. And I am the shop mascot for the Traveling Button. And this is my Christmas tree. Do you want to see it? Kayla, have you seen my Christmas tree?
I have.
Well, here it is. It's nice and bushy and big. I've been missing you. Kayla, you're pretty. I like all the ladies. Hi, Misty.
I've been waiting to meet you all my life.
Hi, what's your name, little lady?
My name's RK.
What does that stand for?
Romantic Cubby.
Romantic Cubby. I like your heart, girl. You got a nice heart.
Oh, thank you. Oh, I just dropped him.
Hi, Michael.
She fainted.
Hello, belligerent.
Says I gotta go. Okay, bye.
Bye.
I've been waiting for that all week.
No, but I want to show you these deer that I have. I know we're talking about kitsch, so I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna go there. I'm gonna get them. They're some of my favorites.
Scott said, Someone logging on right now would be so confused.
They're like, oh, look at these strange people on YouTube. That one girl with the glasses is really weird. Yeah.
Oh my
So,
gosh, I'm excited to open this. Ooh.
these are unbranded, and they are some of my favorite deer that I have. I am a deer collector.
I didn't know that you were a deer collector, Sarah.
Oh my gosh, seriously?
Yeah.
Misty,
Oh, you tatted up on it. Oh my goodness. Yes, I see it.
bluebirds and all.
I love it.
Oh, yeah. Well, now I did know, Sarah, that you collected the Lupton bluebirds. That I did know.
Bluebirds and deer are my thing. That I started with the deer, and then the kitsch completely got out of hand. You know how it goes.
Motor Town said I logged on and heard bushy and big.
Perfect.
See, Jamie's been here the whole time and she's still confused. Same, Jamie, same.
Oh my gosh. Okay. So if you don't know, Amy's Vintage or Amy's Rock and Pop Shop. Oh my gosh. I'm dying right now. These are my first Amy dolls that I've
Really?
Gosh, she needs to be here. She was taking
Oh,
Chuck's.
you got a blonde? Oh, you so wanted a blonde too. Oh my gosh,
look
with the
how
rhinestone
sweet.
eyes.
Amy's Rock and Pop. Oh, look at her. She is salty.
I know. I love her eyes. Her dolls are addictive too. Like once you get one, you're like, well, I should probably get like 3 more.
At least.
Look at the cone. It's the kitty.
Look how good she places the fabric though so perfectly. It's
Best.
So good. Thank you guys. George asked a cool question.
Where? I'm not even paying attention. I'm not gonna lie. What's your favorite kitsch item in your collection? Oh, that's easy.
I think I know, Michael, what yours is, but oh, look at your Chuck frog. Oh, he's
I got a Chuck frog.
Awesome, Misty. He's fantastic.
I had to have him. And
He
look,
is Chuck Negron from Three Dog Night. That is who he is made to play. That's why Jeremy is a bullfrog.
Does he have chenille hands?
yeah.
And y'all, that's probably vintage chenille too. So what do you think my favorite item is?
Your naked man on your shelf.
My naked
Not
man?
in that room. In your other room.
My naked man?
With the bushy hair.
Oh, the doll? Well, he's not vintage though, so I can't.
That's what he was.
Oh no, he's new. And he's not. Oh my gosh, and you got a witchy
Look how
too?
cute she
Oh
is.
yeah, I spent some money.
I was at that sale, Misty, and she's so cool. Good for you.
They're cool.
Oh my gosh, I love her with the pink hair even.
Yeah, she's awesome.
How many did you get? Ooh,
I'm obsessed.
I know, they're so good.
So
I'm like
Michael, that's
instantly
his
happy right now. I'm like instantly just overjoyed right now.
Oh,
Well,
that's
we are talking about Kitsch.
yay. Congrats on your new dollies, Misty. Those are awesome. I like the ones you got. So Michael, naked man, do tell. What's up?
Oh, it's a resin ball jointed doll.
Oh, okay.
It's new.
Okay.
But my favorite, I think. Oh shoot. Now I'm gonna go with it. It's definitely my big bad wolf. That and I use it for like the promo image. I have 2 of them, truth be told, but they're like, I don't know, and I want more. And I know that they're the same, but they're all still slightly different. But I'm just like, I want more.
Did you restore one of those?
Yeah, the one that I took the photo with, I did a full restoration on. So I popped the seam, pulled out all the old stuffing. I washed the fur, I conditioned the fur, I combed the fur out. You have to let it sit, restuff it, stitch him back up, and boom, he's good as new.
That's some craftiness, Michael. Like, that's awesome.
I have really bad dust allergies, so I
Yeah.
can't, it's hard for me to have a lot of vintage because if you've ever popped open a vintage plush, like
That
the Russian
hurt.
do, it's really like it gets matted and it's
It
just,
does.
I can't, and it'll trigger.
And if it's gotten wet at some point, yeah, it can get a little funky. They can get a little funky.
Yeah, for sure.
But
So,
what about you guys?
what's your favorite? Okay, so what is it? So, your very favorite Kitsch item then, Michael, would be your rubber face wolf.
Yes.
Okay. What about you, Misty?
Gosh.
I'm gonna head upstairs to my room real quick, see if I can
Yes.
back
Yeah.
up there.
Okay.
Good. Everyone needs to see this if they haven't. Oh my gosh.
Mine change. I think right now it's this guy. Let me go grab it.
I love how real this is on Kayla's end.
Right?
Like this is just straight for real, and I'm living for it.
Her house is so cute.
Oh, you're
Right now it's my
nerdy
little
cute.
bank Cupid. He's my favorite thing right now.
Oh, Misty, his precious. I love his glasses.
I know, and I had him sitting. And he's sitting like nestled amongst like my swung vases and stuff. And I had a candle sitting in front, so he kind of looked like he was sitting in front of the campfire.
Oh, that's so cute.
It was cute.
Little Cupid was getting his toes warm. Kayla girl, oh my gosh. So how can you pick a favorite? But what is it? I
She
want
went
to.
right to that shelf too. There was like no decision. She was like, I know what one it is.
Yeah. No, yeah, I went and picked her up. This is Babs. She's made by Alan J. She's probably my favorite. So many people ask, but it's like it is hard to choose, but she's probably like my favorite. I don't know.
I love her. She's
What is it about her that makes her your favorite?
I don't even know. She's just really cute. You know, I don't know if you guys are familiar with, I'm sure you are, but Elfhead Doreen on Instagram.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I've known through the internet Doreen probably for like 6 or 7 years now. It's pretty much as long as we've been collecting, and she would always post her Babs and stuff, and I would always just really like it. And when I found my first one, I was like, oh, I got a Babs, you know. So
Yeah.
I don't know. She has always kind of been a favorite, and I don't. You can see, but that shelf on the bottom there, I probably have like 10, I think.
That's all her. Oh.
Is it color variants that, or is it she pretty identical?
There is. Let me grab one more.
Okay, well, you guys, look, take this in and imagine going on her Instagram and you're going to see this collection in detail.
It's spectacular.
But they did a.
Oh,
Oh, I love that one.
She has
Yeah,
a white
Beautiful.
shoes.
oh.
So she's really cool. This is the only one I actually seen. It's made by Convex. It was like an English brand.
Oh,
And
she's
Wow.
beautiful.
Also, it's coming in the mail. I finally found one, but there's also the same brand, Convex in England. There's one that looks just like this, but she has a pink skirt. So I finally found one, and it should be coming in the mail soon. So I
Oh,
finally
that's so awesome. You're still adding.
Yeah. To be honest, you think I would have them all, but I don't. And I think
There's still some out there.
Yep.
Get them, girl. That's the fun of collecting.
Okay. Sorry, I'm trying to get the glare. Okay.
So Jody wants to know, how does she find the dark skinned one? Is that one a pretty rare one?
This one is pretty rare, actually. Like I said, the brand is Combex, so Combex, and it says made in England. So sometimes I know on eBay, which I do buy a lot on eBay, obviously. So I've especially been picky with which ones I buy if I don't have them and stuff like that. But you can go on eBay and you can go through like a certain like country, if that makes sense. You can do eBay like England and like Italy, like all sorts.
Australia. Mm-hmm.
But I think I found her that way through eBay, England.
There's some really nice high-end Italian squeak makers, and I didn't know that. I was like, whoa, these are like fancy too.
I could pull so many. I don't want to like take up too much time, but I can pull. I'm like, oh, here's an Italian version of this one. Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
pull an Italian
That's
one.
what we're here
She
for.
was an Italian one.
Yeah, Jamie Mid-Century Wasted said she must not have any cats. Could you see the cat? Like,
Could you see a cat in there?
I was gonna say I had cats too. But yeah, this is I have one in the box too, but this is an Edward Mobley dog. His name, I believe it's Homer. It has on the box. His name is Homer. He was made by
You
Edward
have the
Mobley.
box?
Yeah.
Kayla's collection is next level. Like, yeah, and she has like new old stock stuff. Yeah, look at
Oh
this.
my god, I still have the box.
Yeah. So yeah, that's the American, like the US version Edward Mobley came out with. And then this is like super rare. I've only seen a couple of them. And I'm sure you guys know who Bitter Squeaks is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love Kate.
Yep.
She's so sweet.
I'm really good friends with her, and I've been to her house, and she has an awesome collection too.
She's so sweet. Love her.
I've gotten lots of my like prototypes and stuff from her too, because she bought the Mobley estate. But
Well, and if you guys know, Kate actually bought Edward Mobley's old molds
Yeah.
for Bitter Squeaks. She
Mhm.
owns Edward Mobley's estate.
Are you
And
serious?
Kayla,
Yeah.
tell the story. Kayla knows her better than I do. Like, she is a really cool person too. Yeah.
Tell it as good as she does, but yeah, no, she, I guess, this was like quite a few years ago, but she contacted his family, I believe. I can't remember what state they lived in, but she was just kind of persistent with it, and they kind of, I think, kept blowing her off a little bit, and then finally they followed through with it. And then she went out there with one of her friends, and I guess they had storage unit full of like she mentioned, prototypes, all like molds and stuff like that. And she just bought the
All of
entire
it.
pretty much. Yeah. Yep. So I think the family member, she said, kept a few certain things, but she got everything else. So yeah.
wow.
And she's kind of been selling it. She keeps some, and then she kind of has made like other animals and stuff like that too, which is pretty cool.
That's what I say. She's done some unique stuff with some of the molds too. You know, and just trying to caretake, and she's really, really like knowledgeable on all the history and everything. I've learned a lot from her. Yeah, follow her account, guys, on Instagram. It's Bitter Squeaks.
Mm-hmm.
Amazingly cool Mobley collection.
She always tells me she doesn't like the people version, so I'm like, oh, really?
Really?
I like the people ones. She said they kind of freak her out, I think. So, real quick, this one is the Italian version of Homer. He usually
Now,
has
Misty, you have to love that sound.
Yeah.
I mean,
I love him. Misty, him's cool. Look.
I mean, I do like him. I do like
Look at
him.
those polka dot ears. Those, oh
Yeah,
my
and his little
goodness.
nubby tail.
Like totally giving me Clockwork Orange vibes with that
Yes.
house and the yeah.
Kind of the different side by side.
Oh, I like these. See, the Italian sweets. I don't know what the colors are just so much richer. The sculpts are so much more detailed.
Yeah.
There's a Pinocchio I've been watching forever, and
I don't
forget
think that they
his
were
name.
as mass produced as the ones in the US. So I think that it's just a finer quality.
Mm-hmm.
And a different country. I think that has a big thing to do with it too. I think the US obviously had more like US made toys and all that kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm. Sarah, you still haven't answered the question. She's been stalling, y'all.
It's so hard to decide. I'll be right back.
It is, it is a really hard thing to decide, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Because we love so much.
I just completed the girls, just the figurines, not the planters, but the thanks to Stephanie, Vintage Freak 32. But I finally completed the Napco storybook line, and I didn't realize that the Hallmark cards
Yeah, they were
used.
with them.
I was like, wait a minute, and I was like, this is
You
the
know what?
same. So
Michael,
I
may
all the
have
cards.
some. I may
have
have
all
some.
the cards.
Oh, you
I
do?
have the
Oh,
book.
awesome.
The Napco storybook girls are fantastic, and your collection is amazing.
Yeah.
And I have 3 of the, oh,
This is one of my favorite boys.
Is he smoking a cigar?
Yeah, he's got a pipe.
A pipe.
And he also has a beret.
Oh,
And
he's French.
he is this. Actually, my brother-in-law came to visit from New Mexico once, and this scared him to death. And he's a really big guy. So you either love him or you hate him. He is
the goofy expression.
I know. His expression is so wacky. That face. So this is number probably 1 in a favorite, and number 2 would be my little bee guy. This is a Gund, and he's precious. I love this little one.
Oh, I've never shown this Gund before. I'll grab it quick.
My mom has that same one, and funny enough,
She
was in Arizona, or when we were in Arizona, she was at a Goodwill, and it was upside down, and she flipped it over, and it was that. So yeah, it was $2.99.
Yeah, that is. Oh my god! So we started doing private picks over the wintertime because inventory was getting a little hard to come by because everything was shut down, right? So David and I start doing private picks. And during one of our private picks, we had the exact same experience, Kayla. There was a face down rubber face toy. We could tell it was something. So we go into this closet and pull it out. And it's one of the Alvin and the Chipmunks, Alvin's rubber face, pristine condition, new with tags.
Wow.
And found him at this private pick. She's like, "You want that thing?" I was like, "Oh, Vera." She was 84. I was like, "Vera, yeah. Would you be willing to part with him?" And she was like, "Yeah, take it." And I was like, "Oh my god, I'll show you." And this is Norm. This is one of my husband and I's favorite weird plush finds. He's not a rubber face, but he's very sleepy. And his mouth is like, whatever. You can see he's well worn. Misty, when you were talking about love the worn stuff, girl, I feel you because Norm is worn. And I don't know why we love him so much, but we just do. He's very
looks like he does reside in Colorado.
You know, perhaps he's been to Colorado, partaking in Colorado fun. I don't know. But
I feel like he's been hanging out with that pipe smoking rabbit a little too much.
You know, they are best friends.
The devil let us.
Okay, I'm running back. I'm like running back and forth to the shelves. So this was the one.
Now, Sarah, George thinks that Norm is might be the Travel Lodge bear.
The Sleepy Travel Lodge bear. It might be. Okay, thank you.
Oh, Lori thinks so too.
George and Lori.
So this was the one that was face down in that private pick. And of course I saw his backside and I was like, ooh, and picked him up. New with tags.
Oh my gosh.
I have that one. I never seen a tag. That's cool.
Yeah, see, he doesn't look like what you think Alvin and
Isn't it funny? He's by Timely Toys.
I love that.
Original bow. Look at his hair too. Cracks me up.
Oh, I love him.
Not the Alvin that comes to mind.
No, I mean I'm thinking Alvin, Simon, Theodore. I'm thinking
from the 50s, the Chipmunks. That's him. This is old school Alvin.
That's the old school one.
I'm old. In fact, let me look at the date. 1959 by Monarch Music. That's
amazing. Now, do you know how much he's worth on the market?
Around 100, 125, somewhere in there. But the prices of these guys are like all over the place.
Yeah.
Condition and stuffing, original tags, that kind of thing.
That's kind of the hard thing when you're thinking about looking at the value of some of these plush, because sometimes they need to be pristine. Sometimes, like Rushtons can sell for ridiculous amounts of money in horrible condition.
Kayla, do you still collect rubber faces too?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Look at her. She's like, mm-hmm.
She's like, yeah.
I have.
Well, I have to show you guys this one gun that I got. I actually got this thanks to because I don't have Facebook, and Allison, Skeleton Keys in the Closet, found her for me.
Oh my.
Oh my
Oh,
God.
it's a
It's a
kitty bunny. Is it a bunny or a kitty?
Is it a
it's
kitty
a
or bunny?
kitty, but she's the pajama sack.
She's a
Yeah.
pajama.
So, but she does have her tail. I need to clean her because you can see it's like that baby blue underneath that dirt. I just
Yeah.
am terrified of this face. It scares me.
For
I
worries.
love it.
Well, I don't want to ruin it. I'm terrified of it because I don't want to ruin it. Not that I
Right.
think she's adorable with the little
She is. No, she's cute.
hands.
I'm just joking. She's awesome. Little pink hands.
See, I mean, look at that. I mean, it's just a face of joy. I mean, I know that probably scares some people to death, but I see that and it's just happy.
Oh, she's got two. But yeah, you put her pajamas in there. I think she's the sweetest little thing.
Yeah,
But
she's awesome. She also looks like she could come tonight, like, and kill you in your sleep. So, you know, it could go either way. Let's be honest.
Your summer party. Kibby said, "Oh my God, I need a Xanax."
Very.
That's what I'm saying. That rabbit's interesting. Yeah. Bunny, cat. Rabbit.
I love her. I love her.
Yeah, she's awesome. That's such a fun find too. Michael, I was going to show you these guys that are kind of similar to your
Oh, I love the red hair. That's a fox, isn't it?
yes.
Yeah.
He has his original tags. He's Russian. I got him several years ago. He's a star creation. And he's in like really, really good shape. He had his original little vest on. Look at his little hat. It's got
I love him.
Oh, I love that red fuzzy mane
Yeah.
he's got going on.
yeah, he's in really fun shape.
Joy said, "I will never visit any of y'all."
That's okay. That's okay. You know, I have people come to my house. I had a friend in from high school for Christmas like 2 years ago. And he came in and he was like, "So we're organized hoarding now with good stuff." Well, you know, whatever you want to call it. I like it. It makes me happy. So
Yeah.
Mhm.
Kayla, what rubber faces do you have?
Say it again.
Like, what's like your favorite one that out of your collection that you have?
Favorite rubber face?
Rubber face doll.
Oh boy. I'll describe this one. He is one of my favorites. Probably not the favorite, but
See, and I don't have any because I sold them all. Look at
The Cubby.
Naughty Kid.
I dressed him up obviously. I change out the hat stuff a lot, but no, the Cubby Toby, he's really big too. But I got him and it's the Russian yellow bunny, and it has a white face. It's really cute.
yes.
But I got this one at an estate sale, and it's funny because this estate sale, it was interesting because a lot of people went there for the blow molds and stuff, and like Christmas. And I mean, that's kind of why we went too. But I started looking through a little tub outside in the backyard, and there was a bunch of like stuffed animals and stuff. So I started digging, and he was on the bottom, and then the Russian bunny, the yellow bunny too, was on the bottom. This one was $30, and this was probably like 5 years ago. I'm like, oh, that's so much. Why did I want $30 for that? It was before I was like aware of Russian stuff. But I'm so happy I got them because I never came across another one, at least in person, to get again. And then the bunny was $8, so that one was pretty good.
Wow.
Oh.
Goodness, girl, that's such a score.
Michael, I see Rebel Junk is asking, I have a rubber face with fur that needs cleaned. What do you use on modern stuff? She said she uses Windex.
Use Windex.
On the fur?
Oh,
Or on the
see,
face?
well,
On the fur.
Oh.
I don't know. It depends on what kind of fur. Like Sarah's fox there. Truthfully, unless you're really willing to go in and clean it, and I do mean popping a seam and pulling out the stuffing, I would only use a damp rag, and you're just going to have to kind of live with the condition that it's in, unless, like I say, because you get that stuffing wet, it lumps itself together. Like I said, when I do it, I am going to do a video on it too. I am admitting that, and it's on video now. So, but I will pop the seams, pull out the stuffing, and then to wash it, I will only use Ivory body wash. And the reason I use Ivory because there's no dyes, there's no perfumes in it. It's very gentle on the skin, so it's not going to ruin vintage fabric, especially if it's started to pull or you have bald spots in it. And then I will take human hair conditioner, and I mean lather it. And then I will take a dog's flea comb, starting at the bottom and teasing it out slowly and slowly until you can just take that comb all the way through. You wrap it in saran wrap. This is crazy, but it's true. Wrap it in saran wrap, let it sit for 8 hours. After 8 hours, you can unwrap it and rinse it out really good. Let it air dry only, probably 24 hours, and you will have fur that looks like it is brand new. But you got to go through all that.
Worth it.
But it is worth it.
I tried to clean one when I first started collecting, and it was an orange bear with a rubber sad face, and he was kind of gnarly, and I soaked him because I didn't know any better at the time, and he weighed like 40 pounds by the time I tried to pick him back up because he was
So wet.
saturated with, water, and he took about 2 weeks to dry, and I live in Colorado where it's very dry. So yeah, don't do what I did. Do what Michael did. Yeah.
And see, I don't clean mine.
Yeah. I don't anymore after Orange Bear because his fur when he dried, his fur dried in kind of a matted way that I wasn't crazy about. I'll show you, actually. I still have him. He's precious.
Well, you know what?
So this is probably going to gross some people out, but this is just me because Stephanie. I don't. I mean, if I think that I can get the smoke smell out, usually, oh my God, I love that, Sarah.
That is so fixable. Girl, if you want him to look brand new, you just send him on over and I'll take care of him for you.
Well, so you can see his red friend is kind of gross too. And I have not done red friend, but I did do orange friend because I like to collect these in all the different colors. By the way, if anybody has any that they want to offload, I love to collect.
You mean like a pink one?
I'm a buyer as well as a seller. So, but yeah, red guy needs a bath.
Yeah.
And they both need Botox. Look at those foreheads.
I'm weird, if you haven't already figured that out, but I tend to if I buy a tablecloth and I'm going to use it, I leave the stains in it because I like the story that the stain tells. It's weird. And I'm like that with the things that I have here too, like this girl here. I like these pillow pets, these pillow people too. Now look how dirty she is. I know Michael's going.
No, I don't. I understand it. I get it, and I respect it.
Like I like all of her holes, and I like all the stains. I don't know. Do I know what these stains are? No. I mean, I've had her for years. And then, same with little kitty guy here, little Puss in Boots.
Oh, he's so precious. I would totally pick that up, Misty. Yeah, I love him.
But then
those don't sketch me out as much, and I know that's weird. It's like, okay, like this one. Oh, I have the pink and blue one that I got from Michelle that matches that.
Yeah, and I don't know. Yeah, but see, look how flat he is. That's what I love about them. Like some child has just
loved on him.
Now, he has a rubber nose and his little button eyes. But then I like ones like this too that are just missing eyes.
Oh, he's so great.
Like if they have a button, so that's even better. If it's a mom has repaired the button eye, but I don't know. I just like these flat ones that they're not rubber face, they're just teddies. And sometimes I sell them and sometimes I keep them. But if they just like this little guy has a precious little face.
Look at those mismatched eyes.
I love his little mismatched eyes. He's got Coraline eyes.
Yeah, I mean, some of them I just get a feeling about and I just keep them.
Yeah.
And
I feel you.
sometimes I sell them, and sometimes I can't.
I know.
You know.
That's how I felt about Norm when we found him.
Yeah, I like Norm.
We found him in an estate sale, and we were going to sell him, you know, because I do sell quite a few vintage toys. And then look how flat he is, Misty. You'll like that. Look how
I love that.
he's just, and I was like, we can't. And then once we got the name badge for him, we were like, Norm's here to stay. So. Yeah, we're just big goofballs too. I think that's also, if you have that personality that's like semi-whimsical, this is the kind of vintage that you're into. You know what I mean? Like, this is the kind of thing that makes you happy and definitely makes me happy. This actually I purchased from a shop that imports stuff from Japan. And this is cod roe baby Cupie. This is a, he's a codfish egg. And he is roe from Japan, and he's a mayonnaise Cupie.
Oh my gosh, it's like an official. That's crazy.
Yeah, and this is, just so you know, my little weird misfit family that sits behind my couch. So this is its mother/father that holds baby Cupie.
Okay.
Pops at all. So this is cod roe and Mama Pierre.
Oh, I love that.
I'm just big old dorks around here. It's fun though, right? I mean,
Now, Sarah, what did you say the official name of that little red sperm guy is?
He doesn't really have a name. He's just cod roe.
Can you show the tag again?
Show the Japanese tag again. He is Cupie mayonnaise. So there is a shop on Instagram, and her husband is from Japan, and she's a Kitsch collector, and she gets boxes all the time of really cool stuff. Her name is Christine with Kitchen Kawaii.
Okay.
You probably know her.
I love him. I like his little hair. I love the little hair.
Isn't he funny?
They're really good. It's actually a Japanese. They sell, modern to vintage toys. This is going to finally make me remember this, but it's called Mandrake, and it's just M-A-N, man, D-R-A-K-E. You do have to, it will come up Japanese, and you can switch it over to English, but they're all like entertainment stores, but it's all secondhand stuff. And they've got, I don't know how many storefronts in Japan, but for us as Americans, we can order this stuff and you can use your PayPal. You guys, I'm just telling you, it might be worth checking out. Like,
send me the link, Michael.
Yeah, I'm gonna say you're gonna have to be sending some links.
Send the link, Michael Todd.
Because this place is like on point.
Sarah, Zeno was asking, is it spelled Cupie, like Q-U-P-I, or K-E-Y, K-E-W-P-I-E, or is it, how did he say it? K-Y-U-P-I.
It's not. It's in Japanese. So, like the regular spelling of Cupie typically is K-E-W-P-I-E. Yeah. Like Rose O'Neill's Cupies that she made and drew, she was an artist. That's all spelled with a K.
I'll put the link in the description, you guys.
C-U-P-I-E also is an older way that they spelled Cupie as well. I have seen it spelled before as well. So I don't know.
Cupie. Yeah, and I think that was what Stephanie had talked about, because she was friends with somebody who was selling a really rare Rushton. And I guess a lot of it is that there's like a huge Asian market that just goes nuts over like these Rushton, like the rubber phase.
Yeah. And
it has really driven up the cost, because just like Kayla was saying earlier, you can go in and select different countries, but they can go in and search the American market.
Sure.
And they're like balling for this stuff. And it has just, it's gotten crazy. I guess she sold 2 or 3 to whether it was Japan or China or Singapore or Korea, wherever. But I guess she's got a lot of buyers coming in from the Asian market.
I believe
Now,
it.
my video tomorrow will be of me source or shopping while I was on vacation, and I'm kicking myself that I did not buy this Cupid doll, and it'll be in tomorrow's video. But it's a Cupid corn,
Oh man.
and not like a unicorn. She is in a corn outfit. She's
Yes.
a Cupid in a corn costume.
Was it a vinyl doll?
She was original in her box, and she was only like, I think, $17, and I'm kicking myself that I did not buy it.
Oh. Have you
When
ever
in
seen
doubt,
this?
I'm
I'm
Very
sorry.
true,
What did you
Kayla.
say, really? I missed you.
Oh, I was saying, when in doubt, you should just buy it because you
Oh,
can
and
always resell it.
you're totally, and that's true. And we all have those moments when you lay in bed and or like for me when I'm editing a video usually, and I'm like, oh, and it's 4 hours away. I can't get it now.
Sarah, what were you going to say?
Totally forgot.
Okay.
I don't know.
So, Kayla, have you thought of doing like a YouTube channel? Because I really think, I don't know, and I told Kayla this too, but can you guys imagine her doing a collection tour? It's like viral video
Yeah.
all over it. Like
Yeah.
it's just one of those things that I think people would just eat up, love it, and beg for more. Like I am so sincere in that.
Yeah, I agree.
Definitely. You should think about it, Kayla.
I have thought about it. I mean, we've actually, as a family, we've all talked about doing, especially YouTube videos and a channel and stuff like that, just too on our adventures and stuff. It's like it's a lot of crazy stuff goes on, and it's very entertaining because like something will happen and we'll be like, oh my gosh, can you imagine if we caught that on camera or something like that? But yeah, no, I
Oh
totally
yeah.
thought about not just on my collections too, just all sorts of stuff. Yeah.
That's awesome. You totally should do it.
Yeah, I think it would be
Long list of things to do.
hmm I'm seeing Jody is saying that there's actually African American Cupies.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
I've never seen one.
Oh, there's lots of different shades of Cupies. There's brown Cupies, there's black Cupies,
Oh,
there's all kinds.
well, Kayla's gonna do it to me. She's gonna go bust out.
Uh-huh. She's got them.
I don't have the Cupid, but they did make an African American version of the regular Ruthie Newton dolls too.
See, and the Ruthie Newton are my favorite. I prefer the Ruthie Newton people over the Edward Mobley people.
Mobley.
The Edward
Yeah.
Mobley animals are the best.
Yeah. I agree.
Totally.
This I got for $1 at a flea market, and at first, because some of them, like just the way some people like stored them, like they almost get a different skin color.
Yes.
But this one, to know that it actually is the African American one, is the eye color is brown, and they actually made different eye colors. Most of them are blue, but there are some that are brown, including the African American, and also the dress is white. And my mom actually has one too, but they're actually really rare.
Did they make Rompy in different skin tones, or is he only in white?
They did actually. I don't have one, surprisingly, but they did.
I love having the different skin tones because it's so like monotonous. I mean, we're a diverse world. Oh yeah, I can see her. Mm-hmm.
That's
very
a
cool.
boy one. I get it.
That's a boy.
Up high. It's the
Look,
Edward
Jody.
Mobley one. He has a frog behind his back. The one that looks like that.
Okay. And like he's got like it's not a romper, but his shirt's tucked into his shorts.
Yeah.
He's got like a button down on. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
I would need
Well,
a
this,
step stool for that one.
yeah, these Toledo antiques that I never knew these dolls were so popular. Like, I think he's talking about the Cupies specifically, but there's just something so sweet and innocent about a Cupie, especially when you get them, like Misty was saying, like in a corn costume, or just any of their little clothing. There's just, or even if it's just a naked little chubby little Cupie, there's just something you just want to squeeze their cheeks. Like they're adorable.
Yeah. I mean, you
That's what
literally,
you like they're called?
like, I people think that I'm weird, but sometimes when I buy the Kewpie dolls, I have a whole shelf that I'm trying to fill the shelf full of Kewpies, but I don't want them to have clothes because in my mind, a Kewpie does not have clothes. I mean, that's just the traditional little Kewpie figurines and things that you see. I like the plastic dolls and even the rubber dolls. Like the Rose O'Neal and those, I really like all of those. But and I find them with clothes and I take all their clothes off and a lot of times you find them and people have like knitted clothes for them because they're naked, and I have a whole shelf full of naked babies and that's just, I don't know, they all should be naked
I
because
saw a ton of the ones with the little crocheted clothes. And I always love those because somebody's grandma like
I
toiled
know.
over that little biscuit and just made her little outfit and then gave it to somebody. And I just think those are precious when I find them. I love them.
I think so too, but for my
Yeah.
shelf, I want all of them to be naked.
Yeah.
I just like the streamline of it. They're
No
all naked.
clothing. Nudist
No
colony.
clothing allowed. It's a nudist colony shelf. It's a nudist colony.
Yeah. Little naked bebas.
Little
Mhm.
naked babies.
Well, yeah, and I think that's interesting though too, because Vintage and Vino just said when I was a kid in the '60s, the Cupid was a toss at dime store doll.
Yes.
But that's what makes them so good, is because they
Yeah.
were so disposable and they weren't meant to really. But so were the Napco head vases. Those were meant to be thrown away.
They were.
They weren't
Yep.
meant. You bought them at a florist and you pitched it when your bouquet died. Like,
Which blows my mind.
and people go crazy for it. Do you guys consider stuff like that kitschy though? Like it's more mature. Do you know what I'm saying? It's got like more of a refined, especially some of the ladies. But do you?
Yes, I think kitsch is defined. I have a really cool book that I bought that was written in the 70s, and it's called Kitsch, The Art of Bad Taste. And it basically talks about how kitsch originated with a lot of like mass-produced items, a lot of items that are not considered like fancy, like maybe mid-century glass could be. These are more items that you decorate with that evoke emotion and are not, and not necessarily rare, but are super mass produced and fabulous, So it's definitely, the book talks about how bad taste has evolved into its own taste, and I personally don't consider it bad taste. Kitsch is my favorite, but some people might, and that's okay. I think to each their own, and there is certainly a place for it in the vintage world more than anything. So
I agree. Yep. I think that kitsch can be defined differently by different people's standards. Like the lady head vases, to me, depends on their style. Like if they are very Victorian in dress, some people still may consider that kitsch. I consider it a little bit more refined and fancy. Like if they have like the I Love Lucy ones, if they're very in like 1950s clothing and very mid-century modern looking, to me is a little kitsch. But
yeah,
to me, like the heart of kitsch to me is just kind of trashy, tacky, dime store class. I mean, I don't know. It's just a fun world. It's a fun world.
It is. It's a lot of fun, and there's a lot to it. Yeah, what might be one man's kitsch could be another man's fancy. You never know. And yeah, it's definitely defined by you. But I would definitely also encourage you to check out this book, and it's called Kitsch: The Power. It's in the office.
I'm looking it up right now. The Kitsch, The World of Bad Taste.
That's the one. Yeah. This is such a fun book. Check it out. And it was written in the 70s, so it doesn't have the perspective from now. But
What a great cover.
Isn't it cute? So like technically someone considers her kitsch, whereas someone else might consider that more refined, but she's naked and playing a violin, which makes it kind of hysterical.
Is there an ocean liner in the water?
Yeah. But yeah, it's a great book, you guys. And it's got everything from, nudes that you might, sorry, I hope that was YouTube appropriate, but it's got everything from nudes to vintage advertising to, the styles that influenced kitsch,
Oh, wow.
the Beatles, and so on. So really cool book. Check it out.
I just ordered it.
Good. It's a fun one.
Misty and I have had this conversation, I don't know how many times, about because at some point, and it's interesting that you said that the book was written in the 70s, because at what point, because I think that kitschy or kitsch got taken out of popular vernacular, and it seems that, was it replaced with tacky? Do you know what I mean? Like, did kitschy become tacky and then tacky was trashy? Do you know what I mean? Like there was like this evolution or de-evolution?
Because what also I find a lot, and I know if you guys are pickers and you sell, a lot of what we find are also items that they sold at home parties in the 70s, like the Sirocco items, some of the Homco items. Those were all sold at home parties and were mass produced. So a lot of people consider those brands and those items to be kitsch, even though it might be a gold filigree wall hanging. It's still considered kitsch because it wasn't expensive and it was mass produced.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah, it's interesting. The whole history behind the word is kind of interesting. And still,
what do you know, Sarah, then from the book? Because Danny actually has a question. Like, do we know where the word kitsch, where like its root is from?
That I am not sure. I honestly do not know.
I'm going to Google it and see. Kitsch.
Yeah.
Art, objects, or design considered to be in poor taste because of excessive garnishness or sentimentality, but sometimes appreciated in as iconic or a knowing way. So I think that kind of goes with what we've been talking about a feeling. It's a feeling or emotion into things. And I don't know if George is still here, but George could probably elaborate a little bit more.
Well, Zeno is saying, Zeno, are you being funny or are you being real? Does it really mean?
No, I think that he's serious.
To smear.
Translation wise.
Toledo's telling me it's gaudy or trash in German. To smear. In other words, that's right, Danny. It's trash-tastic.
I feel like the word kitsch actually sounds, the word kitsch actually
sounds German.
Cute. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. Yes. It sounds like a cute name. Cute. I mean, it just, and then it means trash is what it sounds like, what they're saying. But yeah.
I'm like looking.
Yeah. And Jody says, well, sign me up for gaudy and trashy.
That's me. Like, I mean, honestly, I love my own style and it's mine. And all of us that are kitsch collectors, we all have our own style. And we decorate in the way that we do things and the way that we vignette items together. And look at Kayla's beautiful. I mean, we all have our own thing. And I think that's what's fun about kitsch is you can do a lot with it. You can go a lot of different directions with kitsch.
Well, leave our resident German to know if it is in fact German or not. So we have confirmation it is in fact German.
It is German.
Very cool.
Yeah, and that's, it's interesting because I think like Kayla, because when I hear the word, for me, like when I hear kitschy, I hear cute. That's what I immediately think of, is that it's something cute. So whether it's something with eyes or whether it's the rubber face, it's like stylized, and it's specifically stylized for me and like that 40s, 50s, because kind of like depictions, like artistry, aesthetics, they kind of like change over time. And it started entering into like a more harsh minimalistic kind of thing, like in the 60s, 70s. So
Yeah.
I always think of like softer, rounder, very stylized, again, things with faces that weren't supposed to have faces, a lot of animals, like Mickey Mouse. You could argue he's a very kitschy kind of character
Yeah.
where he's cute, he's anthropomorphic, and you want to hug him.
Mhm. Absolutely. And I also feel like there is also a particular genre of handmade vintage items that fall into kitsch as well. So, like, I sell a ton of granny square vintage multicolored
Oh,
Afghans and that kind of thing. And I really love that particular form of kitsch too, because again, would you find a granny square Afghan in a fancy, fancy home? Probably not. But would you find it in a fabulous
there
she home?
you go.
Exactly, Kayla, like those precious little spool critters and all of those neat things that people like Enamor Amy and Magpie Ethel and Amy's Rock and Pop Shop make. Those things embody the handmade kitsch too, which I think is a large portion of this. Even when you find, when you're out thrifting and you find like a macrame frog that's got like the big eyes and he's a towel holder, that would be considered poor taste to some people. But to me,
Yeah.
it's so cool. You know what I mean? And it's so reminiscent of a time that was a craft that someone was doing and was popular and now has made a resurgence again. So yeah, I just love it. I could talk about this all night.
And I think, like Deanna says that her aesthetic is traditional, but she sprinkled in folk art and kitsch because she loves it. And I think that is a lot of people are minimalist and like people like me are maximalists. I have some primitive things in my house. I've got swung vases. I've got swung vases mixed in with cupies, mixed in with things pixies and Queen of England. I mean, there isn't any rhyme or reason. If it makes you happy, it's your decor, it's your choice. You have to live there. Be proud of it. Be proud of who you are, and be proud and be bold in your tastes. And don't let anybody stifle that.
That's right. And someone in my sellers group asked recently, they had a family member that was like, are you sure that maybe you don't want to look into a different kind of hobby instead of reselling and doing all this weird stuff? And we were all like, we're your vintage family, girl. We get you. Like, if you're a collector and a reseller, like, you get it. Like, these things are precious when we find them. It's super exciting. And then it's really neat to be able to pass it on to others as well. I love it.
Yep. It makes your house your home. Exactly. And just, like I have a husband that doesn't, he doesn't, I don't think that he would ever think that he'd ever have a shelf full of naked babies in his home. But, he appreciates it because he knows that it brings me joy.
Exactly.
And
I sucked David in slowly, like poison. Like, oh, I'm starting to collect these little dolls. And then he'd be like, there's like 4 of them and there's a 20-inch one. What's the deal? So as things evolved and I started making him go picking with me, and then he got into it and he loves kitsch too. Now he gets it. But at first I think he was like, have you lost your mind? Why are you decorating dolls? Are you going to be one of those weird old ladies? And I'm like, yes, totally, I am.
Absolutely, I really am.
I'm one of those weird middle-aged ladies. Thank you very much.
But now we pick together, and he sells really cool kitsch and has such a neat eye for what he likes, and then I have my eye for what I like, and it's a blast. Kitsch is the best.
I think that we're talking about kitsch becoming more popular and more popular, and I think it's because we're showing a lot of people are showing people how much fun and colorful, and like there is a hashtag on Instagram that I love to follow, and it's my happy colorful home, and it's just a fun, happy. You want someone to walk in your house and just feel you want them to be able to sit down and be like, this is pretty cool in here,
I just have to give a shout out to someone on Instagram that I follow personally that is like dreams and goals. Her account is Modern June Cleaver. And Kayla, she is number one, adorable and sweet, very sweet lady. But her style is a mix of kitsch modern, and plants. And I'm a plant nerd, as you can see behind me. So like I love that botanical
She's
look.
adorable.
She adorable. She's just the cutest thing ever. And she has the best style in this little bungalow that she has fixed up. And her kitchen is all of like the pastel smeg appliances and just that yummy, like eventually I would love to do that, to have like a blue or pink fridge. Could you imagine?
Oh, that
So she has
you can paint
full-
yours. You can paint it.
Mine's stainless, so that would look real weird.
Yeah, mine is.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's adorable.
Isn't she precious? I know. I love following her account. And she's as sweet as she is cute, too. Just supremely fabulous style. There's so many neat accounts on Insta for Kitsch.
There, yes, and that's see, and I think that's what is really good for Instagram, because tying it back, it's just one of those things that when you go onto Instagram and you can search Kitsch or Kitschy cute, or what was the hashtag you followed, my rainbow home, or my
happy colorful home.
My happy colorful home. You can seek those things out and you find it's almost like
Hold on.
you get all of these ideas and inspiration. And I mean, Kayla, like seriously, like I saw Kayla's collection and I was like, I need some squeakers in my collection. And then I went crazy with buying squeakers, and it made it did. It just, I felt like it made my collection better. Because that's there's French French opalescent glass and it's chilling out next to a rubber speaker. That's just, I love that mixture of things. But Instagram's full of inspiration.
It is. It really is.
Very much. I just love seeing everybody else's collection too. I know I get a lot of comments about mine and everything, but it's just fun to like kind of like what you were mentioning before earlier about seeing just even one shelf of somebody else's collection, and you can like almost like so much about them and what else they like and everything. It's really cool.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun.
And I gotta say props to because you were talking about Elf Head earlier, and if you guys don't know, on her Instagram, she takes her squeaks, but she takes them out into real world situations, and it seems that she lives by or near a lake. And she's got little, where is it?
She lives in Oregon too. It's just like Southern Oregon.
Okay. And there's like little boats, but it's out in the real world. And I saw today, and I was going to comment, but we were about to go live. But Marion took a Viking, I think it was a Viking, but a red swung Amberina vase and put it right out there on the rocks by the ocean. And I love seeing people have such a passion for the things, to be inspired to want to showcase its beauty, put it out in the real world, and just it adds so much charm. And it's so, again, you're like,
it's
okay,
fun.
now I need a red swung vase now, okay, now I need that squeak, I need that boat.
Yeah, she had Mount Hood in the background. She's traveling through Oregon right now, actually, ironically, Kayla. She's in Oregon, and it is Mid-Mod Marion. She is a really good friend of mine here locally, and she's a killer, mid-century seller of, glass and that kind of thing. I'm sorry, it broke up. I didn't catch that. What did you say?
Tell her to come by our shop.
I know. Where are you actually, Kayla? And if you want to tell me where you're at, I'll give her info because they're going to be traveling.
For sure, yeah. And like I mentioned earlier, our shop's 3 Daisies Vintage, and kind of like what we're all talking about now is it's a real mixture of things too. Like our first kind of floor, the main entrance when you walk in is mainly us three, my mom, sister, and I's merchandise. So we have kitschy stuff, and we also have a plant vendor in there. So we do mix it in like you were talking about as well. But just rusty stuff with cute stuff with plants, and it's just amazing how well it goes together with everything.
Yeah.
And also a lot of our friends are our vendors as well. So
That's cool.
Noma Girl Vintage, Into Vintage, the Cat's Pajamas. Doris is our friend.
Oh, I love Doris. Yeah, she's so sweet.
Yeah. She actually moved from Arizona the same time we did to Oregon, which is really weird. And she lives like 25 minutes from us. So yeah. And then
She's been
she's
in
a vendor.
Ireland forever, Doris. Wow, that's so crazy. Small world. Yeah.
So it's just
Love her.
because it's like all have similar things, but it's also kind of like different. It's like a mixture for everybody. And that's what we try to do in the shop too. Something for everybody. It's not just cutesy stuff. It's not just manly stuff. It's kind of just everything. So it's kind of
I like that.
Something for everybody.
I love that.
Mm-hmm.
That's what it's about. And 3 days, oh Jesus. 3 Girls Daisy does have an Instagram. So the shop itself does have its own Instagram.
Yeah, 3 Daisies Vintage.
3 Daisies Vintage, sorry.
Kayla, what part of Oregon are you in again, hun?
We're the shop's in Aurora, Oregon, and it's about 25 minutes from Portland. It's actually really quite close.
Real close. So you're like a burb of Portland. Gotcha.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, kind of. It's a little. It's like out, like 25-ish minutes, kind of.
Okay.
South.
Right on.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome. Okay.
Right. So I tell people too, if they're familiar with Oregon, it's right in the middle of Salem and Portland. It's like kind of like smack in the middle.
Very cool. Beautiful area. Awesome.
Yeah, I think, and well, I'll just say this because I know we're getting close to the end here, but I'm really glad, and I do want to thank Misty for being open to kind of maybe doing something a little bit different. I do appreciate that. And ladies, it was such a pleasure to have you on, and it was, I don't know, it was kismet, I guess, because obviously we know that Misty loves her the Kitsch. She loves that stuff with the faces. And I was like, well, wait, so does Sarah. And then I was like, but who can I get? And then I was like, oh, it was Kayla. It was Kayla, like, because I DM'd Sarah and I was like, who on Instagram do you know? And she was like, you should message Kayla. And I'm like, I already did. So it was just, everything was just perfect. And I'm glad that you guys all agreed to do this. And I hope that everybody enjoyed it tonight. I know it was a little different. We did show and tell on Vintage Rescue Squad, and that was not planned.
It was not planned, guys.
No, it really wasn't.
About it and just show stuff.
And that's just what's so much like, oh, I want to show you. Oh, I want to show you this. I want to show you.
I get excited about it. I'm like, someone cares about my weird crap. Awesome.
Yes.
Awesome.
And that is what this is about. And that is, I think, what Vintage Rescue Squad is about. We are a community and we have these things that we have in common. And, it's about focusing on the item so it brings us a little bit closer. There, again, are so many things that we can disagree with in the real world. But here in this time, in these moments, we can focus on the things that bond us together so that those other things, and I don't know, I just think if we made those things a bigger priority than all that other nonsense, well, I won't get preachy.
Basically what you're saying is focus more on our commonalities and differences and things would be better. And I'm going to agree with that wholeheartedly.
Yeah, absolutely. And if it takes the weird and the strange to bring us together,
right? If it
let
takes
it be the weird
to do it, then we're gonna do it.
Creepy cats. Hello. Mm-hmm. And the fact that we all had this stuff lying around us.
Hey, within arm's reach,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, pretty much.
That sums it up all right there, right? Yes. But again, guys, I do want to thank everybody in the chat for coming and engaging with us. I hope that you guys enjoyed it. I hope that you got a laugh. Sarah, Kayla, Misty, it is a pleasure. Anything that you guys want to talk about, if you have sales that are coming up, when can we catch you ladies next?
Go ahead, Kayla.
Well, thank you for inviting me for this. It was a lot of fun. I don't usually do, I haven't done anything like this before besides my regular live sales. So it's kind of fun to do it. So thank you, Misty, and everybody for inviting me. But yeah, so you can, I have been doing my live sales about every other Saturday. So I just had one this past Saturday. So I won't have one for another, 2 weeks, I guess. But anytime otherwise, you can follow our vintage shop account, which is 3daisies Vintage, like I mentioned. We're always posting stuff, and you can always call or DM any of us, and we can always sell you stuff that way. So we ship and everything. So if you spot something you like, you can definitely do that. Otherwise, it's my account, Kayla Sunshine 32, and then 3daisies, and then I'm sure we're talking about kitschy stuff. You should follow my mom, Mid-Century Mama. She has all sorts of stuff, the same stuff like me. And then my sister Max Skittles on Instagram. She collects cute stuff too. So that's
I
kind
forgot
of
about your sister. I've always followed your mama, but I totally forgot about sister. Oh my gosh. Yes, yes.
Yep.
All fabulous accounts. Max Skittles, Century Mama, and Kayla Sunshine, and 3daisies Vintage. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Lots of them. Lots of accounts.
That's awesome,
So,
Kayla.
you can see us.
Very cool.
What about you, Sarah lady?
My next sale will be a static sale tomorrow, Christmas in July, for the next 2 days. Over 50 shops are listing under the hashtag ISNCIJ on Instagram. So if you're looking for vintage Christmas in July, that's going to be posted by the masses. That's going to be happening over the next 2 days. And then Wednesday, I have a sale with Amy's Rock and Pop Shop, who makes the really cute kitschy dollies that Misty just unpacked. And Amy and I will be live on Instagram Wednesday evening. So that's what I've got coming up.
Aren't you just so happy with them though, Misty?
I'm just like,
Fun.
I love them so much.
That'll
I'm
make
like,
me so
I
happy.
need to fill this shelf full of Amy's dolls. But
I know, that's the thing. You're immediately like, I want another one. No, I want
do.
3 more.
I want them all.
And then I want that fabric, and I want that head, and I know. I have a
And
whole
she just got some amazing. I am like dying for more witches. I cannot wait.
a ton this fall. And she's making Christmas stuff for Christmas in July. Also, we're going to be having a live sale marathon on Instagram. That is going to be, the 24th and 25th. So all day the 24th and all day the 25th are going to be Christmas in July live sales from ISN on Instagram. So definitely check that out too.
And if you guys did not catch it on the last live sale on Instagram, the Christmas doll that Amy made for this sale, she has more than one, but the Queen of Christmas. Oh, and I'm working. I'm so upset with my life right now.
It went for $400.
Oh, it already sold.
It did.
400
in the live sale for $400. Yeah. And it
They're
was
amazing.
worth it. Like, yeah, very worthy. Beautiful.
Joelle said, "No, Misty, there's no more witches for you." Joelle and I were going head to head for this witch, and then we both got sniped.
that was.
Oh man,
I know.
I have this little witchy.
Dollies. That'll make her day. That's so cute. So cool.
Well, I guess
we have a sale tomorrow.
We do, yes. So you get to see Misty and I together tomorrow at the same time.
With
1
Michelle.
p.m. with Michelle.
Three's coming.
Yep. You know what? And as soon as we're done with this, I'm going to post my preview pictures. I haven't done that yet, so I will be posting preview pictures of my offerings tomorrow.
Ooh.
And so, yeah, that's at 1:00 Eastern on my channel tomorrow.
Awesome.
That's where you'll catch me next too. And
Yep.
Next Sunday, speaking of Amy, we are going to do something special. There won't be a sale on the Cult.Of.Vintage. We will actually be crafting together Amy's Rock and Pop Shop and the Cult.Of.Vintage live.
I know. I'm super excited about this collab because you both are such quality crafters. It's going to be off the chain. So good.
You guys, I got ahead from Amy. It came from Amy's craft. Oh yes, she's the.
It came from
And I was shook when I got it. I was like, I immediately started having visions
That's awesome.
That's all I can tell you. We're going to be crafting, we're going to be making a doll. It's not a cone doll. It's not a cone doll, but we will be making a doll on Sunday. So stay tuned.
Awesome.
Mhm. Feathers will probably be involved. Mhm. Oh, yes.
Baba
Oh,
Leslie.
yes.
Oh, I'm excited.
I'm excited. I'm nervous. I'm excited and nervous because it's
Maybe.
like live. So it's just kind of like one of those, just watch your language because, it's not just the two of us crafting here, it's
You get your
YouTube.
glue gun a little too close to your fingers.
Hmm. Oh, yeah. It happens. It happens.
That's awesome.
All right, guys. Well, ladies, thank you again. And again, everybody's, whether it's their Instagram, their YouTube, Sarah, I think I did both of yours, your Instagram and YouTube. Misty, I think I did both yours, Instagram, YouTube. Kayla, I did your Instagram. So make sure that you do follow those links. If you happen to be unsubscribed or you're not following anybody, of course, make sure that you're following me here at The.Cult.Of.Vintage. Make sure to give the video a thumbs up. I would appreciate that. And if you want to give it a thumbs down, I don't care. You can do that too. Live your life. So guys, I guess until next Sunday, right?
Yeah, it'll be on my channel. Yes, it'll be on my channel next Sunday, 8 o'clock Eastern.
Ooh,
Watch out. And
all
next
right.
time, guys, I will actually try to spell my own name right. I've got 2 N's on the traveling button. So,
But
so next time Sarah will try to spell her own name right.
Please, if you've ever talked to me via text or anything like that, and I start spelling every word right, you should be concerned. Like I never do. I never.
Oh, yay.
All right. Well, thanks, guys.
Thank
Y'all
you.
have a good night. Thanks.
Good
We'll
night.
see you next time.
Michael, thanks for having us. Thank you so
It
much.
is my pleasure. Always, always.
It was a lot of fun. So, good
Standing invitation.
night.
Good night, everybody.
Good night.
Guys.
Bye.
Bye.
And